You have a pen and paper with you, right? I hope.
Yes, sir, I do.
Yeah, because you need to always, whenever you sit in my class, you should have at least a copy and pen with you. It will be good if it is a dedicated one for this class, okay? So that you can refer to it and you don't have to hunt for the information. All right. Okay, so we go back to the whiteboard. Okay. So 1 hour, we said that one day has got 24 hours, 1 hour has got 60 minutes. Okay. And then in 1 minute, we have something smaller than a minute. What is that?
Seconds.
Yes. And how many seconds we have?
60.
60 seconds. Okay. Now, what is a second like? Second is like this. Tuck, tuck, like this. When you see a clock, do you have a wall clock at your place? Can you see it right now? Do you have a second's hand in it? It is the thinnest hand. It is the thinnest hand on the second. You see when it moves, it keeps on moving continuously, right? Tuck, 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 tuck. So when it completes one round, the other hand, which is the largest hand, it is the minute hand. It is the largest hand that moves one. So you will see that in a clock. So we'll see a clock also right now. I'll draw a clock or something. Okay. And then it just moves by a little bit. Okay. And like that, it keeps on happening. The seconds keep on happening every second. So once the second thing goes 60 rounds, so in a clock, the second is moving like this. Okay. So there's a hand like this. In the next second after tuck, it comes like this, like that. It keeps on moving. It takes one whole circle. When it completes one whole circle, it is a minute. And then the minute hand, which is a different hand, will just move a little bit once it completes one circle. And like that, after it completes 60 circles, okay, the minute hand would have moved from here to here. So let's say from a 2 to a 3. These are hours, correct? Okay, they also represents minutes also. Okay. So let's understand that how does a clock look like. Let me draw a big clock. Let me ask you questions. Oops, what happened? Let me see if I have a picture of a clock. I don't have a clock. Damn. Clock. Big. I'll take a clock. I'll cheat a clock. Okay. Take a clock from here. Which one do you like?
The first
okay?
one.
First one you like? Okay, good one. This one, right?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. So this is we have a clock here, right? So you said there are 24 hours, but the clock only shows 12. Why it is like that?
Repeat, sir.
You said there are 24 hours, but the clock has only 12 plus, showing over 12 numbers, 1 to 12. Correct? Why do you think it is like that?
2
It goes around 2 times. Correct? Yeah. And this kind of clock where you have 12, this is called an analog clock. Okay, you will see this normally on a wall. You will see mostly your parents wearing a watch, which will show this. But there is another one which shows numbers. Okay, which is not a round one. It doesn't have hands and all. It just shows the numbers. That is called a digital clock. Okay, and we'll see how the digital clock looks like. Okay, so let me just again take a digital clock here. digital clock. Why it called digital clock? Because it shows digits. Digits are by what numbers are made of, correct? Can you see this one? So this friend of ours is called a digital clock. Understand? And basically the clocks tell us the time what it is, correct? They can be used for different purposes. They can be used for different purposes. For example, in the morning, your mother has to wake up to get you ready for school. So she might put an alarm. Okay, she might put an alarm. So she'll say, I will wake up at 6 o'clock, and she will put an alarm. So the alarm will go at exactly 6 o'clock. It will start ringing, tang, 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 whatever, ring, 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 ring. Okay. And then that will make her wake up. Correct. Then the clock can be also used as a stopwatch. Stopwatch is, or we can say that we can measure time or the time taken for an activity. Okay. So let's say Janvika sits at 2 o'clock to study. Okay. And she gets up at 3 o'clock. So how many hours did she study? She studied for 1 hour. Correct. So there is a start time for any activity and there is an end time. When you subtract the difference between the end time minus the start time, okay, and you find out that what is the time taken for that activity. Correct. You unmute yourself. Don't keep yourself muted. Unmute yourself.
Yes.
Always keep yourself unmuted. No problem. As long as you don't have too much background noise. Okay. So what happens that when the day starts, when the day starts, actually a date starts. So we talked about all these times within a day, correct? Now, if we go ahead and we start going bigger, okay? So after day, what does it come? If we keep on going bigger. So we had a day here, we went smaller, we came to an hour, we went smaller, we came to a minute, we went smaller, we came to a second. Correct. Now, if you go bigger from the day, what is the next thing we normally consider after a day? What is a bigger thing than day?
2 days.
No, 2 days is fine, but there is something else called, correct? I will give you a hint that makes all the name of the days. If you count all the name of the different days, that is the next unit, bigger unit. It's called a week. Do you understand week? It's made of 7 days, correct? It is made up of 7 days, correct? And after week, what does it come?
Month.
Very nice. So normally a month will have a week and a few more days, correct? But normally it consists of 30 or 31 days. Okay, but one particular month has got 28 days, which is February, right? Okay, we'll discuss all that. Okay. After month, what does come?
Year.
Year has 365 days, which is roughly around 12 months, right?
Yes,
12
sir.
months. All right. Okay. Good. So now coming back to this thing, coming back to the day. Okay. Actually a day starts, let's say today is a Sunday, correct? Today is a Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. You know when Monday will start? It actually starts in the night itself. Just after 12 o'clock when you are fast asleep. Right? And at that time, both these hands, this is the smaller hand. This is actually the hour hand. And this is the minute hand. Minute hand is always longer. Minute hand of the clock is always longer. Okay, and it moves slowly also. Sorry, it moves fast than the hour hand. The hour hand moves faster. What I'm saying, sorry. Yeah, the minute hand moves faster, the hour hand moves slowly. Okay, this is the hour hand. You can see this. This is longer. Correct. It is going till here. It is only, it's not touching the outer circle. This is the hour hand. Okay. So, okay, the second hand is not shown here. So the second hand, once it moves, once the second hand, let's say this is the second hand. I am drawing a second hand here. Okay. Let's say this was the second hand. Okay. If once it takes the whole round, it takes a whole round and comes back here, this one moves only from here to here. Okay. In one round. Then it takes another round, keeps on moving. So if you notice here, from here to here, there are 5 intervals. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 itself. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Okay. So in 5, when it takes 5 rounds, the minute hand will move from here to here. Okay. Then another 5 it will come here. Then another 5 it will come here. Another 5 it will come here, like that. So if you do skip counting of 5, 5, 10, 15, okay, these also represent, this is for hour, it is 1. For minutes, it is 5 minutes. Okay, after the hour, it is 5 minutes. This one, the 2 1, okay, so this is the one, this is the skip counting of 5, 3, 20 is 4, 25, yeah, so here it is 25 minutes. And that stands for at the 5 hours. Then you have the 30, which is at 6. Okay, so 30 is half an hour. Let's say half an hour. Because if you notice, 6 is half of 12. Correct or not? 6 is half of 12. Like that, if you go, once you reach 60, the hour is 12. And at that time, what has happened? That this guy here, which started, this guy was also here at, let's say, 12 o'clock in the night. All 3 were here. All 3 were here exactly at 12 o'clock. Then the second hand moved 1 round. This guy, the minute hand moved a little bit, this much. Then another round, this much. Like that, 60 times once it circled, it completed the minute hand, completed from here to here. But this guy, in this whole time, will just move from here to here. In 1 hour, it moves only this much. Correct or not? If you notice the time, let's say the time was, this is in this example, it's almost 5 past 10, correct? It is 5 past 10. After 1 hour, the time will be 11:05. So this guy will move here, okay? Be 11:05. Understood? Okay. Good job. Okay. Now the analog clock, when you look at an analog clock, and let's say your eyes are closed and you slept for long, you don't know what the time is, whether it's morning, afternoon. From the analog clock, you cannot tell it that whether it is 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock in the night. Understood? Because it's all the 12 hours, then again another 12 hours, correct? But if you know the time, then you know. So in the night, in the middle of the night, once the day changes, let's say from Sunday it becomes a Monday, at that time, the time is 12 a.m. It is called AM. At that time, the time starts. Okay. And in terms of hours, we call it 0-100 hours. 0-100 hours. Because at that time, just the day has started. But in time, we say it's 12 a.m. Then let's say after half an hour, in the night itself, okay, so 12 a.m. is there. Then after half an hour, maybe the time will be mentioned as 12:30 a.m. And in hours, this one will be like 0-100 hours. Because just the date has just started, correct, in the middle of the night. This one will be 0-30 hours. Like that, it will keep on happening. Let's say in the morning, once you wake up, let's say you wake up at 7 a.m., it will show us. So after this 12:30 a.m., but it does not go into a digital, in analog time. This is called a 12-hour timing. When we put a AM or PM, it's a 12-hour time we follow. Okay. But after 12, it does not become a 13. It becomes a 1 a.m. Just like the clock. After this in the clock, if you notice, it is after 12, it is 1, correct? So it will become 1 a.m. in the night. And this one will be called also 0-100 hours. Okay, like that, in the morning, once you reach in the morning, so let's say you wake up at 7 a.m., it is 7 a.m. and it will be 0-700 hours. Okay. Like that, you reach the afternoon, 12 o'clock noon. At that time, the time will just, before that, the time will be 11:59 AM, and this one will be 11:59 hours. Okay, and at that time it will become 1200 PM. So after 12 o'clock, it's called PM, afternoon. Okay, just after 12 o'clock. So at 12 o'clock, the AM becomes a PM. Remember this. And this one over here will show us 1200 hours. Okay, now we go a little ahead. Now, you know, in this clock, as I said, that it is always going to be after 12, it has to become 1. So it will go till like 12:59 PM. Okay, and it will be like 12:59 hours. But after 12:59 PM, it won't become a 13. It will again become a 1 PM this time. Okay, but this one will be called 1300 hours because this one is following a 24 hour. I mean, if we call the time in hours, okay, but normally we call AM PM. Okay. So like that, it will keep on going. So in the evening, let's say at 6 o'clock, you go to play. At that time, it's 6 PM. Okay, and here it will become 12 plus 6. This is 12, and then plus 1, plus 2, like that, plus 6. So it will become 12 plus 6 is 18. So we call it 1800 hours. Okay. So this one is a 24-hour clock. So you need to understand that 1 PM is like 12 plus 1, that is 1300 hours. Okay. 2 PM is 12 plus 2. 12 plus 2. This is 12 plus 1, right? 12 plus 2 will become 1400 hours. And this is a 24-hour time system. 24-hour time system. And this is a 12-hour time system. But in the 12-hour time system, how do we differentiate is by a AM or PM. AM is everything from midnight till afternoon. And after afternoon, it becomes PM. That's called a... So what is the full form of AM and PM? I don't know the spelling. That's why I'm checking it. Okay. Yeah. So AM stands for ante-meridium, before midday. Okay, it's a Latin word. Ante-meridium. Okay. And PM stands for post-meridium. Meridium means before midday. Ante-meridium means before midday, and post-meridium means after midday. Did you understand? Middle of the day. Midday means middle of the day. And middle of the day is at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, because by that time 12 hours have already passed out of the 24 hours. And 12 is half of 24, correct? Okay. Good job. Did you understand so far everything?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. Now let's look at a few other things. The digital clock, which I was explaining to you, normally it is in 24-hour format, but you always have the option to set it up as a 12-hour format also. So either this will after, let's say at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, will show 1400 hours, or it can also show 2, and then maybe then you will have the option of putting a PM or AM also in a digital clock. So you can set it up the way you want. Okay. Normally, most of the digital clocks have that facility. Did you understand? So far everything clear, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. So now we'll see how time are also, we call the time. How do we call the time? Okay. So this is like 5 past 10, because it is more than 10 o'clock. So it's 5 past 10. We have already passed 10, right? So this is for 5 minutes past 10. Here, once this one reaches here, we will call 10 minutes past 10, because this is equal to 10 minutes, correct? 5 minutes and 10 minutes, right? Then when it reaches here, we can either call it 15 minutes past 10, or we can say quarter past 10. Quarter is 1/4. Quarter means 1/4. 15 is 1/4 of an hour. You can see this. This is 1/4, then another 1/4, then another 1/4, then another 1/4. We get 1 full hour, correct? So if we divide the 60 into 4 equal parts, we get 15 minutes, correct? Correct?
Sir, what does quarter mean?
Quarter means 1/4. So if there is something, let's say this is full, then if you divide it into 4 equal parts, then one part is called a quarter. Okay. And if we divide it into two equal parts, then it is called a half. One part is called a half. Okay, this is called a quarter. Understood? Quarter is also used in money also. So we say a quarter. I have a quarter. Let's say I'm in the United States. A quarter means 25 cents because 100 cents make a dollar. Correct? 100 cents make a dollar. So 1/4 of 100. If you divide 100 first into half, you will get 50 cents, right? And then if you divide the 50 again into another half, because what is happening? See, I divided this into half. I got two halves. And then I again divided both of them into a half. So I got four parts. Correct. So that becomes a quarter. So this is called a quarter past 10 also. And then once it reaches here, we can tell it it's a half past 10. What? Half past 10. And once it reaches 45, I can say quarter to 10. Because we still have another quarter to go, quarter to 11, sorry, not 10, quarter to 11. Because now in another 15 minutes, it will become 11, correct? It will become 11. So for example, if you see the time like this, 5:45, and this stands for 45, correct? This is 45, this is 40, this is 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, 50, 55. So after we cross here, we can say, here we normally say like 10:35. The time will be 10:35. Here we'll say 10:40. Here we'll say quarter to 11, because, or here in this case, we will say quarter to 6, because after 15 minutes, it will become 6, correct? We say quarter to, and when it is past here, we say quarter past. And once it crosses this quarter to mark, we can normally say, either we can say 10:50, we can say the time as 10:50, or we can say 10 minutes to 11. We can say, because once it's very close by, then it is more close to 11 than a 10, correct? So that's how we say the time. Okay, you can say 10:50 also, you can say 10 minutes to 11 also. Okay, did you understand? For 55, we can say 10:55 or we can say 5 minutes to 11. Okay, both are okay. All right. Okay, now let's do some practice on time and seeing the time. Okay, give me a second. So all these, the AM PM is already put here. You have to tell me that how will you call these times for A and all this. So for each clock, write the correct time on the line provided. The line is here. So you need to tell me what time should I put over here. For A, the clock A.
2:25.
No, look at the smaller hand. Which is the smaller hand? And understand this. If this was 2:35, see the 35, which means that it is the minute hand has already crossed halfway mark. In that case, see when it is moving, the minute hand is moving, the hour hand also keeps on moving a little bit. In that case, the hour hand also would have gone beyond the halfway mark of 2 and 3, because the minute hand has already, if it was 2:35. So this is not 2:35. Look at the hour hand. Which is the hour hand? Hour hand is always the smaller one. And it is normally the thicker one also. But here it is all same. This is the hour hand. So this is the minute hand. Now tell me the time. Janvika? Drop.